What's going on, guys? It's Jake here, and today we are building the ultimate GameCube. You may recognize this GameCube from a video I did a while back, where I painted it and added white lights to all the controller ports. It's a pretty cool mod, and I recommend you check that video out after this one. But today we're going to add quite a few more things to this to truly make it the ultimate GameCube. So let's start with the changes I made under the hood. Here we have the Xenochip mod, an SD card adapter, and a mini DVD with custom firmware on it. I'm not going to bother going over how to tear down the GameCube, but I will leave a link to the iFixit tutorial down below. Instead of silently watching this time-lapse, I'll tell you what this mod does. The light blue chip allows you to play GameCube games from any region, because if you didn't know, the GameCube is region locked. This mod is great for when you want to play your North American games on your Japanese exclusive special edition console. Pretty cool, right? Let's install it. Here's a little diagram on where you need to solder it. Be careful because I'd say this is a little more of an advanced solder job. I recommend taping over the other spots like this. I didn't, and I ended up having to go back and fix it. One other thing we can do with this mod is read regular mini DVDs. I didn't record this part, so here's a video from Goodwin's place. I'll link it down below because it's a way more in-depth tutorial than I'm doing here, and it's very informative. But here you have to adjust the laser to allow mini DVDs to be read so we can run Swiss, the special custom firmware. It's a very tedious process, and that's why I didn't record it, so if you want to learn how to do that, check out Goodwin's Place's YouTube video. Now we can put it back together. From here you can put all of your legally owned ROMs on a micro SD card and slap the adapter in the bottom of the GameCube. Using the disk to boot up Swiss, we can now access all of our ROMs. Next up is this guy right here, the Game Boy player. This little attachment will allow you to play almost any Game Boy game on your TV with a GameCube controller. This is pretty much a GBA motherboard, but weird. I don't think I'll be able to get an IPS mod for this. I gave it a little clean because, well, that's what we do here, but it really didn't need it. Once it was all back together, I put my flash card in and it worked no problem. Normally you need to put the startup disk in, but you can load up the ROM onto your SD card and it'll work just fine. And when you're done, you can launch your cartridges at your friends. Thought that would have more force. This is another mod we did a while back on the channel, but of course I have to mention everybody's favorite wireless controller, the Wavebird. To me, it's an essential piece for the ultimate GameCube, or really any GameCube setup in the 21st century. I guess the GameCube was in the 21st century. Anyways, I took off the metal thumbsticks because they're just too uncomfortable for me for long play sessions, and I kind of use this a lot. They are very cool, and I still have them, so if I want to put them on in the future, I can. And the last thing we're going to take a look at is this HDMI upscaler right here, the Keiko, or Keiko, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because this thing is awesome. I guess it does matter, you should buy this one. I have a 4K OLED TV, and with this thing, the GameCube looks amazing on it. I'm not going to even attempt to explain the technology behind this, so I'm going to link an older video by MVG who explains this kind of stuff very well. One thing I will say is that there are a ton of these online and they're pretty much all the same. There's slight differences, maybe a few extra features, but as long as they use the digital AV port and use the open source software GC Video, it's gonna look great and pretty much look the same as all the other ones. I got the cheapest one on Amazon that is the digital AV port and GC Video. It's normally $70, but it was on sale for $55 when I got it. Definitely a steal. Again, I'll link it down below. I played a game of my favorite game of all time, Super Mario Strikers, with the AV cable, the HDMI adapter, and the Dolphin emulator. No HDMI adapter is going to look as good as emulation, since emulation runs natively at today's graphics quality, but it is night and day going from AV to HDMI. Emulation is in a completely different world, so I'm going to focus on just comparing AV to HDMI. There's no question that the upscaler destroys AV in quality. I don't think you should spend $150 on the Eon, but if you're going to play GameCube on an HD TV, I think $70 for the Keiko is well worth it. Since apparently there are other GameCube games other than Super Mario Strikers, I'll play a couple other comparisons right now. Oh, and by the way, this video is sponsored by the subscribe button. If you haven't hit that big red button down below, you should hit it right now. If you subscribe, you could win $1 million. I'm not giving away $1 million, but you could. It's possible you could just happen upon $1 million. I don't know. It's probably more likely to happen after you hit the subscribe button on my channel. I'm just trying to I'm begging, please. I want a plaque so bad, man. I'm just trying to talk while this comparison's playing so you don't click away or skip ahead, you know? I mean, you could skip ahead to this time right here, but it's totally up to you. You know what? I'll just let I'll let the sound play for the rest of it. I got nothing else to say. Let me know what you think down below. But that's everything I have for my ultimate GameCube. Is there anything I missed that I should add? Maybe a fold-up screen? I don't know, I think my OLED TV is gonna do better than some crappy TFT panel. I used to have the battery, but I don't know where that went. But if there is anything I should add, let me know in those comments down below. I still cannot believe that the Xeno chip with the SD card adapter is only $15. Compared to just the IPS mod for any Game Boy, that's, oh, the screen looks better for $60 versus you can play pretty much any game legality blurred for $15. But that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, listen to Brittany. If you're new here, please subscribe. Only 4% of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you're watching this in the first few days of it being up, the Samus giveaway should still be going right now. So if you want the chance to win a really cool modded Game Boy, click the gleam.io link down below. Subscribing, following me on Twitter, Instagram, and even Twitch will get you a couple extra entries. Just saying. You can also follow me on TikTok if you want. But if you don't want to wait for the chance to win a modded Game Boy, you can buy one on my website, retroremastered.com, as well as this shirt right here. And lastly, if you want to support me on Patreon like these lovely folks here, you can check the link down below. I'm actually working on some exclusive Patreon only videos. I kind of want to start doing that like one a month. That way it'll be more worth it to subscribe to my Patreon. So do with that what you will. But that's all the self promo I can get out for now. So I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. And when you're done, you can launch your cartridges at your friends. That was kind of lame.